Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to unravel a story that is just incredible. It connects an ancient Indian city, Ayodhya, to literally millions of people all across East Asia. And this isn't just a recent thing. We're talking a connection that has survived empires, religions, and thousands of years. All right, let's just jump right in with a question that sounds, well, kind of impossible. Could millions of Koreans, right now, today, actually have roots in India? I mean, it sounds crazy, but the answer is a definite yes. And the story of how that happened, it's absolutely extraordinary.
And look, this is not some new theory. We are talking about a bond that goes back, wait for it, over 2,000 years. Just think about that. A single thread connecting two cultures that has somehow survived everything history could throw at it.
So, what started it all? You might be thinking big armies or massive trade deals, right? Nope. This incredible link, this whole story, it all started with the journey of just one person, a princess from Ayodhya. Okay, so how do we even know this? Is it just a legend? Well, our main source is this really important Korean historical text from the 11th century called the Samguk Yusa. And in it, it tells the story of a princess Suraratna who came from a faraway land called Ayutthaya. Now, for a long time, people wondered where Ayutthaya was, but after a ton of research, historians are pretty certain that Ayutthaya is none other than the ancient Indian city of Ayodhya. So you can see how this ancient book creates this mind-blowing connection. It all hinges on what this princess did, on her incredible journey. Picture this. It's the year 48 AD. Princess Suraratna gets on a boat and sails across the sea on this incredibly long and dangerous journey. She lands in Korea, where she marries King Suro, the guy who founded the entire Gaya kingdom. She becomes Queen Hail Hwang-huk, and boom, a whole new dynasty begins.
Now this is the part that gets me. This isn't just some story in an old book. It's real, living history. Today, right now, millions of Koreans, especially from some of the biggest family clans like the Kim Hae-kims and the Hyos, can and do trace their family tree all the way back to this one princess from Ayodhya. How amazing is that?
But wait, the story gets even bigger. Because as incredible as the Korean connection is, it doesn't stop there. The princess's journey was really just one piece of a much larger puzzle. It was part of this huge wave of influence, cultural, spiritual, that spread out from Ayodhya like ripples in a pond, reaching all the way to Japan and even Mongolia. So what was driving all this? What was so powerful that it could connect all these different places? Well, it was religion. You see, Ayodhya, which was also called Saket back in the day, was a total powerhouse for Buddhist philosophy. Its teachings and ideas were so profound, they just started spreading out, creating these deep spiritual connections far from home. You can literally trace these paths on a map. Think of it like a cultural highway. Ideas flowed from Ayodhya to China, and from China they went to Korea, and then from Korea over to Japan. And that's not all. There was another route that went up through Central Asia, carrying these same ideas all the way to Mongolia. Okay, so we're talking about ideas and beliefs which can seem a little abstract, but how do we know this really happened? Well, because this influence left behind actual physical proof. We're talking about things carved into buildings and stories that are still being told today.
Let's look at a great example. This symbol here. In Ayodhya, you'll see this twin fish design on a lot of old buildings. It's an ancient symbol connected to royalty, and it basically means prosperity and good luck.
Okay, now check this out. This is where it gets really cool. Look at this Japanese symbol, the shachihoko. It's basically the same thing, a fish-like creature that you see on the roofs of Japanese palaces. And get this, its meaning is almost identical. It stands for happiness, prosperity, and courage. That can't be a coincidence, right?
And it wasn't just symbols that made the journey. It was entire stories. I'm talking about the epic Ramayana, which, comes from Ayodhya. As Buddhism spread, different versions of this story spread with it, and they had a huge impact on folklore, art, and books in places like Japan for hundreds of years.
So, this is all fascinating history, but what does it mean for us, right now? Well, the thing is, these connections aren't just relics of the past. They are living, breathing threads that are still shaping how these countries relate to each other in the 21st century.
This timeline really lays it all out. You can see the whole arc. It starts way back in mythology, then you have the princess's journey in 48 AD, then it becomes this major hub for scholars from all over Asia, all the way to today, where it's still a global spiritual center. The one constant thing is connection.
And that connection is super active right now. I mean, you have official delegations from South Korea that regularly visit a memorial to Queen Heo in Ayodhya. You've got Japanese academics who are still studying how Ayodhya influenced their art. And even that twin fish symbol is still seen as a sign of this shared history and friendship.
When you look at it all, the story of Ayodhya is really a powerful reminder, isn't it? It shows us that cultures don't just exist in their own little bubbles. They flow, they mix, they influence each other, creating this beautiful, complex shared history that's so much more connected than we think. Which really makes you wonder, how can these ancient threads, these amazing stories, help us build a more connected future?